Welcome, welcome, welcome. Listen to me. We're here. It is late January 2026. The world is full of AI. Wherever you look, it's AI crap, AI slop, AI shit. You go through social media, you'll see all that AI has to offer. It'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry, it'll make you question humanity itself. Your dad will send you some AI shit video of some guy helping a pregnant lady or a baby with a stroller, a mother with a stroller, from a train, lift it off the train tracks, jump 10 fucking inches off the floor, miraculously save the baby. Share if you believe in God would be the description or whatever they call it on Facebook. I haven't been on Facebook in 10 years. I digress. This is what the world is. It's AI. It's AI slop. Everywhere you look, people are depressed. You can see it in their eyes. You can see their dead eyes. There's nothing behind those eyes because they know in an instant we could be at war. The USA is so close to invading Iran. The World Peace Committee is so close to invading Iran and blowing up the whole world. But thankfully, the AFL and the NFL are here to save us. They stand tall. Behind all the bullshit, they stand tall. And they are the most governing and most just and most, what's another word I could use to describe these two just outstanding and just well-ran leagues. I'm going to say poetic. I'm going to say poetic. And don't ask me why I said poetic, but I'm going to say poetic. We've got the AFL who have put in the worst rules you could possibly imagine ever. Andrew Dillon, let's get right into it now, because Andrew Dillon has just sat in the boardroom, chucked on the NBA and said, "Oh, they have what's this play-in tournament?" And some new intern has said, "Oh, well, play-in tournament. They just had it recently. It makes the shit teams have a go, and they might actually make the playoffs." And he's like, "So there's more games in the finals than technically in the NBA." The guy, intern says, "Well, yeah, there are." Oh, that is good shit. And he's like, "We can make more money. Now people are going to pay more to watch Port Adelaide versus fucking Sydney at the SCG. Everyone knows who's going to win. No one cares. Whoever finished 10th is not going to win the premiership, guys. You know that. The AFL knows that. But what are we going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to sit there and get hyped because it's the biggest and best finals ever. You don't know who's going to win. I don't know who's going to win. No one knows who's going to win. And no one knows what the fuck they're doing. And let's get real. Let's get real. Guys, let's say Essendon finished 10th. Right? Let's just say that. And my God, if they finish 10th, round of applause, because they should be shot off the face of the earth. Let's say they finish 10th and they win one game, 2 games, which, hell will freeze over by then. 3 games. Oh, now they're in the prelim. And let's say they win the prelim. They're going to lose to Brisbane. Every single team, the AFL, are going to lose to Brisbane this year. So who the fuck cares? Who cares? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Why is there a play-in tournament? Why is there a wild card? And don't call it a wild card. It is not a wild card, guys. Please, it is not a wild card. Do not disrespect wild card, because wild card rounds in the NFL are insane. They are insane. They have nothing compared to this. Now, more than 50% of the teams will make it into the finals. What is this utter woke nonsense? Utter woke nonsense we're living in here. My God, It is fucked. I couldn't believe it when I saw that. This is a ploy by big AFL to make more money. I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but guys, think about it. Why would they do this? It is not for you. It is not for you. Don't think it's for you guys. It is not for you. It is for them. And it's for Sportsbet. And it's for Bet365. Guys, Ladbrokes. For God's sakes, Ladbrokes. It's for everyone. In the gambling world, obviously. And let's get real, guys. We're gonna punt on it. I'm gonna punt on it. It's gonna happen. But we're gonna keep an open mind also and be like, they're not gonna fuck us. They're not gonna get me, dude. They're not gonna get me, man. But they'll probably get us because we're sheep and we're stupid. And I am the biggest one that's stupid. I'll get sucked in. And now they're going to try and improve the AFL. Well, they're going to tell you they're going to try and improve the AFL. These people who are making these decisions, most of them, they don't know. They've never played in the AFL. And I've never played in the AFL either, guys. I played suburban footy. I got no fucking chance. But why are we getting rid of the centre bounce? Why are we doing this? This is more utter woke nonsense. I cannot believe we're doing this. It is not for umpire health. It is not. They're trying to make these games more efficient, more short, and more faster. They want to make it shorter because they want another 15-second ad, right, to Coles or to Crown, which we don't see, or to Sportsbet. That's why. They want to fit more ad time between the goal and the bounce. They want to fit one more, just one more. And Andrew Dillon's going to fucking lose it. They get one more ad in there and they're going to explode. They're going to, revenues will skyrocket. We will see none. The pies of the AFL are still going to be $15. The mid-strength beers, the mid-strength beers are still going to be $15. And they're going to take all the profits. Once again, the AFL does not care about us. But we're going to watch it, and I'm going to watch it. But I'm going to keep yelling to you guys about how much they don't care about us. But I'm not going to boycott it. Don't be silly, guys. You're not going to boycott the AFL. We're not going to do that. We can't. What the fuck are we supposed to do from March to September, October? Talk to our family? Are you kidding? Let's get into news and trades. More so trades. Because those are the really important stuff. The Lachie Neale stuff. Yeah, alright. We could talk about that, but it's not going to really affect anything. Yeah, he stepped down as captain. Harris Andrews is captain. Let's be real. For the last couple of years, it's been Harris Andrews at Brisbane. It hasn't been Lachie Neale. Lachie Neale's been good. He's been injured. Harris Andrews, my God, he is the pinnacle of the just extraordinary and consistent and just reliable. God, he is the captain's captain. He's got to be the captain's captain. Incredible captain. And to me, he was always a captain. Lachie Neale was their best player, but Harris Andrews was always their most important player. So we could talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that, guys. That's a waste of time. Let's get real. Let's get into trades. I love the trade period. When the trade period comes on, I'll start listening to Cal Toomey and Luke Beveridge and to hear about Continental Tires and how good they are and how they're tested in Australia 20,000 times. I'll put myself through that hell because I love the trade period. The trade period this year, disappointed, and the AFL was not happy. They weren't happy with that. Not a lot happened. Yeah, Charlie Kerner left. Yeah, Track left. Merritt didn't go. Butters didn't go. Zach Bailey, was floated out there, but, he's not going anywhere, still under contract. It's like, boring, that's shit. Oh, Fiorini leaves, who the fuck cares? Oh, Bailey Humphrey, he could have left. And then it's like, no, she want to stay in Gold Coast, they're building something good here. Fuck off. Just leave for the fun of it. Just do it. The trade period's getting shit. Fucking be a man up, make it fun for us. But anyway, we'll get into Charlie Curnow. He's officially a Sydney Swan. Hallelujah. Thank the Lord. Charlie Curnow, what can I say? The man, he just didn't want to be noticed anymore. He just wanted to be a little recluse in Sydney, making double the money. He wanted to go down. I've actually never been to Sydney. He wanted to go down he wanted to go down the Sydney Harbour, bridge, and say, just walk past people, and no one knows who he is, right? You got big Charlie Curnow walking down Lygon Street, right? Heart of Lygon Street. He's going to get bombarded by the most stupidest, nuffiest Carlton supporters you'll ever see. I understand why he wouldn't want that. Don't get me wrong. I get it. But man, I've never seen a footy player not give two fucks about a club more than Charlie Curnow did at 60% of last year at the end of it. God, I've never seen no one care that hard. And I worked at Woolies for a long time, and I saw a lot of people not care about their job. Charlie Curnow, he topped them all. I couldn't believe it. He made up his mind round 2, round 3 last year. Coxie called him and said, mate, this is what I want you to do. And it's all a game, guys. It's all a game to these guys. It's all a game. I want you to float out that you might want to go Geelong. Just so you can keep it a bit more like, keep people guessing. But you know where you want to come to, mate. You want to come to Sydney. No one gives a fuck about the footy here. Well, not a lot of people care. And I'll give you double the money. It's not double the money, but it's more. Obviously you're going to come here. The weather's good. Beaches are good. You're Charlie Curnow. That's going to appeal to you. Yeah, you can go to Geelong. There's beaches there. But they're still going to know who you are in Geelong, mate. So now Charlie Curnow is just going to walk around Sydney like Rambo, in First Blood, and just be a recluse. He's going to get hitchhiking and all that shit because no one knows who he is, and he's going to love it. He's going to love it because no one knows who he is. No one knows who he is. And I think it's a great deal. If you're making 15 mil a year and no one knows who you are, I'll take that. Anyway, Christian Petracca. He's finally where he wants to be. He's at Gold Coast. He's getting paid triple to be pretty much a lifeguard. He's just, again, it's similar. I think it's not quite like Curnow, but it's more like, I don't want to play for Melbourne anymore because the culture's shit and we're shit and Goodwin's gone and I don't know who we're getting in, and now there's a whole youth movement. So I'm going to fucking leave Melbourne like I wanted to do 3 years ago, and I'm going to go to Gold Coast and I'm going to play under dimmer and play in front of 10,000, not even, probably 5,000 people, right? And just kick the ball around, take the piss and, whatever. Guys, have you ever been to, what's it, a People's Choice? People's First Choice, People's Choice Stadium? Whatever it is, Metricon Stadium to me still. Guys, I cannot tell you how fake these people are. I genuinely think that they're cardboard cutouts. When I was there, I couldn't believe, I was looking at these people, they genuinely went for Gold Coast. I'm like, you're not real. You cannot be real. You have to be made up by the AFL. This was Gil McLaughlin time period, right? We know what Gil McLaughlin did behind closed doors. Okay, we know the buttons he pressed for Gold Coast. He, telling you, he went to the labs. He went to Melbourne Uni. He said, guys, I need to make people because Gold Coast is not getting any attention. I need fake people to make it look like Gold Coast is actually a team. And here they are. There's 5,000 of them every week. What can I say? Gold Coast is Gold Coast. Are they going to be good? Probably. Top 6? Yep. Are they going to Are they going to beat Brisbane? Maybe in Gold Coast and Brisbane, Queensland. Will they beat them in MCG? No. No way. No way. No fucking way. No way. They can't. I don't care who they've got. They will not come down to the MCG and beat Brisbane when it actually counts. Because no one, guys, I'm going to let you on a little secret. And to the ball knowers out there, you know exactly what this is. No one gives a shit unless you've won the last game of the year.
If you lose the last game of the season, nobody gives a shit.
Let's move on. I could talk about that for days, but one I would really want to hit on, and I cannot stress this one enough, guys, Scott Pendlebury. He's probably going to retire this year, and I want you guys to get your affairs in order. I hope you've got savings. I don't think it's going to matter, though, but I hope you've got your survival techniques. You've learnt from Joe Rogan how to hunt, how to shoot elk. We don't have elk in Australia, but you need to know how to shoot kangaroos, harvest them, because when Scott Pendlebury retires, I don't know what's going to happen to the world and to Australia. More so Australia. I don't know what's going to happen. Him retiring could spell the end of Australia as we know it. We could go into an economic collapse. Over the last 15 years, more, what has been a constant? Scott Pendlebury and Collingwood. Once he's gone, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know life before Scott Pendlebury. No one does. Because Scott Pendlebury may have actually created the AFL itself. No one knows life without Scott Pendlebury. And I don't think we're going to be prepared when he's gone. This could spell the end of everything that you know and love. Once that final siren hits, the world will go into chaos and pandemonium. Collingwood's losing by 30 points, but everyone's going to be on the edge of their seat because they think the clock's going to turn back to zero. Planes are going to start falling out of the sky. Your money from the bank gone. They need it for somewhere else. The computers are malfunctioned. Scott Pendlebury's gone. He just vanished off the field, and he's just left behind him the world burning. I just want you guys to be prepared, and you heard it here first. Once Scott Pendlebury retires, the world will probably end. All right. I'll take a break to a non-existent sponsor. Welcome back to the show. If you're just joining us, I just went through a whole rant about how corrupt and screwed we are once Scott Pendlebury retires. The world will end. Heed my call, please. Heed my call. Right now, we're going to go through kind of a team by team preview of each team, and I've got 4 tiers currently that I think we should really start adopting. We should really start adopting tiers in the AFL because there's a lot of shit, and we all know there's a lot of shit. For God's sake, there's so much shit. You got the top tier, right? This is your creme de la creme, and I love saying that. Well, I could say that 100 times over, and I'll never be satisfied with saying creme de la creme. You know, I want to call these the cartels. these are your, they run this shit, and you don't say boo. You're going to get that letter when you're doing that song and you're doing that dance, and it's going to be from Brisbane. It's going to be like, hey, cut it short. I'm taking Sam Draper. And you're going to cop it. And you're going to be like, well, that's just Brisbane. What can I say? And then you've got your new money, like, these are the new teams. These are we got a little bit of cash. Have some. We might be good. We've got some good players. We've got some good coaches. Sometimes we're good. Sometimes we're shit. Come on. Have a look. Then there's I hate this tier. I hate the most. The mid tier. And to me, this is just the delusion and just a fake hope, the mediocrity that the AFL thrives on. They thrive on this. I hate this tier, and I hate every team in this tier. I don't like them because I hate to be one of those clubs, because it's like, what are you doing here? But we'll go through that very quickly. The mid-table delusion, I call it. Mediocrity. The bottom tier. So these guys are the bottom feeders, and this is the tier that you hope to be in. Honestly, you hope to be in this tier, because it's like, well, we're shit. Who cares? Like, whenever we win, it's fucking yay. And whenever we don't win, it's like, well, we're shit. So it is what it is. We're going to get a good pick. We'll probably do nothing with it. And the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Just look at Geelong. Fucking look at Geelong. So, we'll start from the top. Obviously, the number one team is Brisbane. Who is going to beat Brisbane? Who is actually going to beat Brisbane? No one. No one's going to beat Brisbane. The Brisbane Lions have lost no one. They lost Darcevic. All right. Good player. Good role player. Don't get me wrong. We'd be sad to miss him. McInerney retires. Oh, well, that's sad. He's a good mainstay. Well, and they lost some other fucking... Oh, and they lost, what's the other guy? Kalachi. Good player. One of them, he's good in the big moments. He's a good X-Factor player. Don't get me wrong. Well, who do they get back? What do they do? We got Oscar Allen, one of the premier young forwards of the comp. That's a pretty good get. Who else did you get? Sam Draper, very good. Or I wouldn't say very good. A good ruck piece. A good second hitter, a good, if the team isn't built around Sam Draper, if you're not so dependent on Sam Draper like Essendon was, he can be a fucking beast. So, you've lost Darcevic, you've lost McInerney, and you've lost Kalachi, and you've got Oscar Allen and Sam Draper. To me, I think you've gained a lot more than you've lost. They got better. They didn't get worse, they actually got better. The problem is now, the other teams didn't get any better. They may have got a little worse, or they may have just stayed the same. So, if Brisbane don't win the flag, there is something wrong, because they remind me of I'm going to get real fucking crazy here, the military-industrial complex of in America and all around the world. It just keeps going. You don't know how it keeps going, but it keeps going. And there's those shady figures, those shady AFL figures that pull the strings and say, this year Brisbane's going to be good again, and this year they're going to be good again, and this year they're going to be good again. And they're going to pull them back now. Let's get Collingwood in there. Let's get Hawthorn in there. Let's get Geelong in there. Whatever. So if they don't win, there's something wrong. There's something really wrong, and I think that's when things really start to get a bit prickly for the AFL. Anyway, that's Brisbane. And they're so far on the top tier, that's not even funny. No one's even close to them. I'm sorry. Next, I've got Hawthorn. Hawthorn, what can I say? God, they're good at footy and they're coached really well, but they just miss, you're going to hear the contrarian, like, oh, they're missing the fucking, top tier midfielder, the Bull. They're missing him and they didn't get him. And they did stupid, like, oh my God, the trade talk with Essendon about Zach Merritt, it hurt me. You cannot, as a Hawthorn supporter, support what they did there. That was like that was the most arrogant just display of, we want to play out, we're going to kind of ruin his whole life as a captain of a big Victorian club, with a lot of outspoken supporters, and give him Henry Hustwaite in return and some other fucking things. Henry Hustwaite. You're going to send cannon fodder for Zach Merritt. And one thing I want to point on with Hawthorn is that they're all like private school kids. Are they not? Like, they all look like the most arrogant, self-centered private school kids I think ever in the whole world. Like, it's almost working. It's like they've got a whole team of private school kids that you want to belt in the face, like punch them in the face, and it works. It fucking works. Like, they all gel together. They become like a hive mind of absolute just depravity and like, just, I don't know, like just private schooly. You know what I mean? Like, just, and not like those mid-range private schools, but those upper tier private schools. Your Scotch colleges, you know what I'm talking about, guys. The upper tier ones. And then we got Geelong, still in the top tier, and they always will be. I think even when I'm 110 years old, if I'm lucky to live to that time, they'll always be in the top tier because they have something on the AFL that we do not know about, and they keep blackmailing the AFL. That is, I'm convinced that they've got something on the AFL, and they keep saying, guys, you're all going to be shit, and you're all going to pick the stupidest wrong players, and you're going to give us your Bailey Smiths for nothing, and we're going to turn them into almost Brownlow medalists. And we're going to get the Tom Stewarts from nowhere, and the Humphreys, and whatever, and everything. And we're going to make them stars, and you're going to suck still. You're going to be picking Scott Gumbleton still. So, yeah. And Chris Scott. What can I say about Chris Scott? Is he running some kind of meta plant in Torquay, of just stem cell research kind of plant to make his players better? Bailey Smith comes to Geelong, yeah, he's not bad at doggies, but he's kind of losing it. He's like, hey, come to Torquay, under my winery, I've got something cool. Bailey Smith walks in, it's like Goodfellas, right? But instead of him getting shot, he gets stabbed with those stem cells, and then he becomes a superhuman beast, and then he takes that piss and almost wins the Brownlow. Next year, he will win the Brownlow probably. Please watch out. If Bailey Smith is in Torquay, I need you to watch out. Geelong refused to die. It's annoying. They got James Warple. He's probably going to become fifth in the Brownlow. He'll be all Australian this year. Anyway, and we got the new money. The guys who, flaunt the cash a bit. You got your Gold Coast, right? Get Christian Petracca. I spoke about it before a lot. And Jamara Ugelhagen. There's not really much to say with these other teams, to be honest with you guys, because to me, Gold Coast can make top four. They could. I think they could, and I think they probably will. Just because they're playing Gold Coast a lot. And I think Ugelhagen will be a good player, but again, like, it doesn't really matter. The supporters are going to be there. I told you before, they're not real people. Look at them in the eyes. Tell me if you've ever seen or met a Gold Coast supporter. Please let me know. I guarantee you, I just don't think they exist. And I guarantee you, if you look really deep into that person's history, you'll see there's nothing there, because they don't exist. They're fabricated. They're fabricated people used to manipulate your mind and make you think they're a real team when they're not really a real team. That's Gold Coast. Sydney, Charlie Curnow. You know, spoke about him before. Spoke about Sydney before. He, Sydney are good. I think they're always going to be good. They're kind of like Geelong to me. They're never going to be shit. And even when they are shit, they're not even that bad. Like, they're still like, well, they could beat a good team. Like, if you put them in the finals, they might give a good team a run. You know, like, they're never shit. Sydney, they're never shit. So, I think they'll be good. I saw Taylor Adams got knocked out at a club or something. Well, that's not good. That's not a good start. But get Errol Gould, get Goulden on the park. Get the Heaney on the park. Get the Chad Warner on the park. Yeah, Charlie Curnow. I think they're going all right. No. They lost a couple of players. They lost some good players, but I think they'll be good. I think they'll be fine. Just quietly. GWS. Another team that, once again, where their supporters, I've met more GWS supporters than Gold Coast supporters. Don't get me wrong, but I really don't think they're real people. The Orange Tsunami. They do. Now, they don't play like what I'm about to say, but they remind me of what I'm about to say. They remind me of like a BlackRock, but not deep stadias BlackRock. More like just a bit odd. You kind of look at them twice, be like, what's really going on at GWS? They get Kingsley in there, fucking jacked, huge, jacked dad vibes. Yeah, it starts out a bit fucking, how you going? And then they get real good, and he says, all right, we're gonna implement something, and it's gonna be called the Orange Tsunami, and it's gonna work, and it's gonna take the AFL by storm. And it works, and it takes the AFL by storm. They almost make a run, but they don't. And they don't again. And now we're here. Don't get me wrong, they're going to win. They'll be top 6. I think GWS is a really, really good team. I do like the way they play football. I always like to watch a GWS game. But, yeah, look, they're going to lose a prelim. It's going to be a heartbreaker. It's going to be just sad, and Toby Green's going to cry, and Josh Kelly's going to, reconcile him and be like, it's okay, mate, we'll do it again next year, and, we'll cry even harder then, and it'll be fine. It'll be okay. So, they'll finish top 6. They'll probably finish top 5, I think. They're a good team. And, look, they lose Likalia, but they get Clay Oliver. I think he's going to be good there. Clary. I've always believed in Clary. I've always liked him as a footy player, to be honest. When he's on, and when he's really on, if you know what I mean, he's really fucking on.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
And now, the mid-table delusion. I'm not going to rant about these guys because I don't care. Again, I hate these teams with a passion because they are irrelevant. Collingwood's in this tier, guys. I know, shoot me. Just don't think they're very good. I think they're really mediocre. I think Craig McRae Fly. He's a good coach, but they're getting old. Let's face it, they're getting old. Dan Houston last year, I was such a big Dan Houston fan at Port Adelaide. His footy at Collingwood has been so shit. I'm so surprised he still plays for them, honestly. I'll just cut him loose. I know they've paid him a lot of money, but fuck, I'll just cut him loose. He's so shit. I'm sorry, he's so shit. The Crom are next. This is going to piss off a lot. I'm looking at the people I've put here and the teams I've put here, and I think I'm going to die. Now we've got the Crom. I'm looking at my list right now, and I'm seeing the teams here, and I think these next couple I might get hunted down for. The fans of these teams are not going to be happy. But again, the Crom, that finals performance last year has just been in my mind ever since. Honestly, like, that was so disappointing. So disappointing. You know, there's a you know, paper tigers. There is no bigger paper tiger team than Adelaide, guys. That was so fucked up what happened last year. So fucked up. Straight sets out of the finals when you finish top of the ladder is just always just so bad. I don't even know if they'll make the finals this year, honestly. Their team's really good, but like, if you lose straight sets as the number one team, that like implodes your team. Give some NFL fans here. Look at like the Vikings. Yeah, they lost Darnold, big quarterback, but like that, their team is like, even without Darnold, like, their team's fucked. Yeah, like, I think these kind of losses and these kind of bad losses kills a team. I think they're going to get really, I don't know, they got a really good team from front to back, but one of the most complete teams in the AFL. But geez, yeah, I just think it's all about a looks and a vibe, and their vibe is terrible. Their vibe is terrible, and they function more like I think you'll see that they'll be more like a retirement team this year, a retirement village kind of team this year, where, you know, they'll look happy, but are they really happy? I think once the season goes on, you'll really understand why no one wants to live in a retirement home, and why the Adelaide Crows don't want to play footy anymore, because they're haunted by what's happened in their past. Port Adelaide, you know, Port Adelaide's Port Adelaide. I don't understand. Like, what are we doing with Port Adelaide? What are we really doing with Port Adelaide? You've got Zach Butters, you've got Connor Rosie, you've got good players, man. Good players. You know, Georgiades, why not? He's pretty good. He can be good sometimes. You know, you've got that other tall fucker that doesn't miss. I forgot his name now. You should probably know it. I watched footy a long time, obviously. But Port Adelaide, man. They put the scarves up. They say never tear us apart, but fuck, they get torn apart a lot, man. They get torn apart a lot. God, I cannot tell you the amount of times I've seen Port Adelaide get torn apart. They should really change that song, because it's not fitting anymore. It never was, really. Like, you could name 10 times Port Adelaide have gone fucking torn a new one. Look, they got Josh Carr, you know, new era, new brand. The AFL want to tell you, Port Adelaide social media want to tell you, you know, the club wants to tell you. It's a new team, and I'm sure I'm sure Connor Rosie is going to be like, you know, the boys are really invigorated this year. It's a new system, we're loving it, blah, blah, blah. It's Port Adelaide, guys. What do you expect? Yeah, they'll beat some teams, but they'll crumble. And they'll always crumble. The Western Bulldogs.
We can't think.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, come on. Okay. Come on.
Don't mention again! Fuck you!
Right, okay.
I want to put a public service announcement out. I think we need to look into the Western Bulldogs. We need to look into the Western Bulldogs and see what the ransom is for Marcus Bontempelli. It's becoming to a point now where he's got Stockholm Syndrome, where he's actually loving the Bulldogs, but he doesn't understand that they're killing him. They're slowly killing him. bleeding him. They're taking his prime years away because he plays with just the most dumbest players you'll ever see. Don't get me wrong, man. You got your Ed Richards, you got your Libbers, right? That's pretty much. Oh, and your Sarah Darcy's, all right? Okay, you've got Richards, Libber, Darcy, Bond. Okay, 4 unreal talents. But at the next level is so far down, it's insane. It is insane how far down that next level is. Tim English used to be good. He's kind of in and out of good now. Probably if they had their time back, I reckon they would have traded him to West Coast because they would have paid a king of ransom for Tim English. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, but he's not as good as what he used to be, I think. So the Doggies are going to probably, again, disappoint everyone, disappoint me, because I love the Bond. I love the way he plays footy. Does anyone get the feeling that just Bevo is just there just to vibe with the boys? Like, seriously, does anyone get the feeling that he's just there to have a bevy with the boys and not actually coach? He gives me that impression. And then and then you know what he does too? He loves it so much that he gets a bit rowdy at the reporters too, or he gets a bit nasty, gets a bit testy, because he just wants to show the boys, hey, I'm one of you guys. Yeah, I'm not a coach. I'm one of you guys. You coach yourselves. I just want to party. Fremantle.
We do not care.
I can't tell you how much I don't give a shit about Fremantle. I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about Fremantle. Justin Longmire plays they play the most boring football ever, and I don't care. I'm from Victoria. I don't care about Fremantle. Next. I don't care. St Kilda. I'll put them here because I still don't think they'll be good. I think a lot of people think they'll be good, but I don't think they'll actually be good. Getting Tom de Koning and Flanders and Silvani and, they're not real needle movers, though, I don't think. They're not really big needle movers. They're all good players, don't get me wrong. They're all good players. All the players they got are good. Some of them aren't that good. Some of them used to be good, like, the bloke from West Coast. We all know who he is. But, they're not doing much for me. De Koning can be good, don't get me wrong. He's a unicorn footy player. Flanders, yeah, he's good, but like, God, does he really do anything? Does he really do a lot? Does he really win you a game? No. Silvani, great piece. Great piece. But he doesn't win you a game. But he's good because you can put him wherever you want, right? They'll finish. I think I'll finish top 8th, if not 9th. But guys, wildcard team. Wildcard team. Think St Kilda are a big wildcard team this year. Nah, probably not. Probably top 8. I reckon top 8. I think all the teams I just said are definitely top 8 teams. One of them miss out, but that is and I'm not grouping them. I'm just grouping them as a whole. So it saves me from the embarrassment of getting things wrong. And if I do get things wrong, I'm not wrong. It just didn't happen the way it was supposed to happen. Don't get it twisted. All right, now here we go. Bottom tier. The bottom tier. I'll go so quick. Now, I know I said that before, but I get carried away, guys. Sorry. Carlton.
We walked out 3/4 time, and that says it all. Piss off, boss. Get out now.
Well, what can I say about Carlton? God, they were so close, weren't they? They were so close. If shit vibes were a team, if the worst vibes imaginable were a team, it'd be Carlton. My God, Paddy Cripps. I love you, mate, but geez, not even Sam Doherty, man. Like, no one can fix this team. I don't know. They're just no good. They're just no good. What can I say? nothing. I'm going to skip them. I'm going to keep going because Carlton are just Carlton. I mean, they've lost Kerno. They've got some good players. I don't know. Well, they've got some good role players. I do like the players they got in. Don't get me wrong. I do like the players they got in. But I don't like the vibe at Icon Park. I walk past there sometimes. I drive past there sometimes. I look at it and you can just see a cloud of just despair. I saw actually, oh my god, the McGovern, Mitch McGovern. My god, I was saying Matthew McGovern. Mitch McGovern. I saw him recently. He didn't look too happy. Is he still playing for Carlton? Guys, if Mitch McGovern's still playing for Carlton, there's problems. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I don't know. Just the vibe, you know? Like if someone said to you, Mitch McGovern still play for Carlton, you'd be like, oh, yeah? God, no good. Jacob Smith does his ACL last year. Well, whatever. Essendon.
Who was on crack?
Next. I could go on about these guys for ages. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to, though, because they don't deserve it. I've never seen these tech guys win a final. I'm an adult. I have a mortgage. I work a full-time job. I pay my taxes. I go shopping. I do click and collects with Coles. I'm a full-grown adult now. I'm a suburban adult, and I've never seen Essendon win a final. That's all we're gonna say. That's all we're gonna say. These guys are the military industrial complex, and I've said that twice already, but this is the anti, because you know they're shit, and you know why they're shit. It's right in front of your face. It's right there. You know it. You know why. They're crap. Melbourne, I don't even know if they've got any players left. Do they have any players left? Honestly. And who the fuck wants to play for Melbourne? Yeah, just, I don't know. Like, what even is the point of Melbourne? They are cannon fodder at this point. They were fun at one stage. Don't get me wrong. Like, I loved watching Melbourne play a couple of years ago. I loved watching Van Rooyen and that other bloody bloke with the box head. Oh, God, I'm so bad with names. Sorry. But, you know what I'm talking about. The small forward, box head. He was good. But, fuck, they're just boring. And no one plays there. And, like, new era. Not really doing it for me. Sorry, Melbourne. I don't even know if there are any players left. North Melbourne. I don't even know. Again, North Melbourne. God, I don't even want to speak about North Melbourne. I don't think I've seen a team regress more than North Melbourne. They started off so hot, and they have gone slowly worse and worse and worse and worse. I just don't think they're... I just don't know if they'll actually ever be good. I don't think they'll ever actually be good again. They'll never recapture the Boomer Harvey, Drew Petrie magic. They'll probably get that on one pick again, and no one's going to give a fuck. Again, this is a team where the AFL are like, how do we help North Melbourne? Well, let's give them this, and let's give them this, let's give them help, and let's give them Alyssa Clarkson. Let's help them. Let's help Alyssa Clarkson get to North Melbourne. And then they're looking at North Melbourne like, guys, we've given you all this. What are you doing? And they've just pretty much just burnt it and pissed on it. Sorry. I don't want to talk about North Melbourne, guys. Sorry. Richmond I am actually quite bullish about. I think they're a really good team because they're coached really well, which is the difference between all the other teams on this list and Richmond, is that Richmond are actually coached well, and I can see what Uze is trying to do. And you can see that that's actually working. It's actually working. Give them a couple of years and Richmond will be good again and we'll all want to kill ourselves yet again. God, I hate Richmond. Sorry, but they're just annoying because before 2016, who the fuck went for Richmond, guys? Who actually went for Richmond? No one. No one did. Sorry, 2017. Sorry, 2017. Pardon me. No one went for Richmond, and then they came out everywhere. It's like, well, I'm a Richmond supporter. I actually go for Richmond. Well, my dad goes for Richmond, so I go for Richmond now. Please. Go away. Go away. They've got kids running around the park named Taj and, you know, Ty and with an I and bloody Cray with a A. You know, you should be in Richmond. Coffee shop, barista, spacer in your ear, giving me my my skinny lattes. Skinny lattes. Thank you very much. No sugar syrup. Thank you. Thanks, Taj. West Coast. Well, West Coast. Again, I think this is another team like North Melbourne where who actually gives two shits. They got Starcevic, great. They have no one else. This is a less than Waffle League team. The Waffle team and the A team could go head to head and they would just draw at 12. Probably. I don't know how the Waffle team's going, but to me that looks like a whole bunch of Waffle players. So I couldn't imagine their Waffle teams any better. And there it is. So, guys, my last thoughts, probably rambling a lot now, but I don't give a fuck. My last thoughts are this. No one's going to beat Brisbane. What is the point of actually playing footy this year? Because you all know what's going to happen. Brisbane are going to win the last game of the year, and no one's going to give a shit about your team. Good night. Stay safe. Have fun. Brisbane, Hawthorn, Premiership. Goodbye.